Game number 1. I'm excited. Right, we have an off-lane Meepo. We also have to keep in mind, right? Dota, like Darling are probably going to be playing to have, not to have fun. They're playing to win at this point.
Yeah.
But they're going to try to have fun along the way as well, right?
Stops him in the tracks. Set up here, Drake has rotated over to the mid lane, the bash, like we mentioned in the crush, but Ollie here to help his buddy out, and are they actually going to turn this on the Yoe? Nicely done, and Drake trying desperately to finish that off, but the last auto attack from the Shadow Demon lands right before the missed call can connect.
They gotta do something about 23 though. Slowly but surely farming up a storm, and this rotation from Jotun could be exactly that.
Gonna come through with the Bat Rider, lasso available, but the immediate response, Aurora, they brought the members as well. Q is here, stolen Chakram, but they're pulling in 23. He's able to morph strength up, and the Troll is here as well, but so much burst! Just cuts through that Timber Saw, the stolen Chakram. Q, he's doing so much work! They morph into the Timber, and they steal his Chakram at that. Double up on the cut potential. And Jotun looks like he'll just narrowly make it through. A little bit of that regen, but they chase him right through the Twin Gates. Amel doesn't want to let him go just yet. Like you mentioned, maybe it's just the focus on the farm for now. Everybody's scaling up in their own way. Levels pretty even across the board. It's really just Ollie who's struggling a little bit. Top side, they've got the touch out onto Palos, but I don't think they have the damage to threaten him just yet. It's just Jabs and the 2 supports. And in comes Bosku with that Shivas, tagging up everybody on Aurora. But 23, he's ready to play. Comes in, swoops in Jotun. They crush out onto the Mega Meepo, but Amel, he's shown up. It's a 1-for-1 trade right now, and it's not exactly even. Palos wants to pop that ultimate as he drops low and suddenly chop out onto the poor Ember Spirit. Amel doesn't stand a chance as Q. Still trying to play around in the tree line. But once again, it's just your 2 supports alongside 23 and Bosku. He's still full HP. Nice jukes from Ollie to skirt away from that Chakram. But the Shivas, that's going to present a way bigger problem. 23 left high and dry, but still able to waveform through, clean up Yoe. Yeah, Aurora still are feeling confident with this timing that they've got though. Running forward straight onto Bosku, netting him up, and he's all alone down here. Shivas or not, he'll go down. Cut him down to size.
Absolutely, and I think the name of the game for a lot of these teams recently, like I feel like we've been saying it a lot, is they understand when their timing is, right? They understand when to hit their timing.
I don't know whether a timing's gonna be hit or whether Jab's gonna get smacked. He blinks in to the mix, finds the backline, but meanwhile the fight's completely scattered. Yoe tries to blink and get the Morphling, but already dodging out. Palos, everything's so messy. You're getting a drag back onto Amel, but now he's the one killing you off. Q is gonna go down, no more sneaky Chakram as they clean up the backline and get the first life of the Meepo. He's committed far too deep for this Shadow Demon who has the Aghanim Scepter complete already, and Jabs is gonna go down a second time. A bit of a disconnect in terms of what Aurora were trying to accomplish there. Jabs just pulls the trigger, jumps in, but the rest of Darling, they were well and ready. This one's gonna go down real quick. Aurora, not even needing a smoke, just making a beeline straight for this pit. Doesn't seem like they can do it quite in time as closing in is Jabs. Does he dare blink in? Goes on the poof, brings the net out, but didn't actually commit. It'll be 23 who just waveforms into his own death. Just gets evaporated. Beautiful crush from Yoe to lock him in place. And disaster for Aurora as they need to retreat. Ollie gonna be forced to pop the borrowed time, but he's locked up. They want Amel. That'll be the bigger kill, and the disruption finds him. It's daytime vision. You're going nowhere. Even the lasso for good measure. Jotun will give his life up for it, but Palos was waiting right at the Remnant. Ollie will die as well. You get the Aegis, you get 3, and you only lose your bat. You could have written a better story for Darling in that engagement. It feels like if he goes in, he dies. If he doesn't, his team dies. Either way, it's a lose-lose situation. Like we mentioned, almost feels like you need to get a little creative with it. Start things out onto Bosku. Netting him up, but not going to connect as he's able to just walk his way out of there. Yoe has got the touch of the Jabs, but that's what the dig is for. Hiding away underground, taking turns to just burrow, just playing some whack-a-mole. Darling will have to. It's a nice crush onto Morphling again, and they have the control. He needs to get out. Able to pop the BKB, turn back onto Yoe, but he just gets healed up, and the Morphling doesn't stand a chance. Palos stands his ground, BKBs, delivers, and just smacks 23 down into the curb. Looking nothing compared to this puddle that Yoe is swimming in. Just trampling and swimming right through you. As Jabs, he Mega Meepos up, but again, the Shadow Demon just slowing down the Shiva. So much control. You'll actually buy back on 23 this fight. Amel wants to get the touch out of Palos. They'll get the first life. But the rest of the side of Darling are still standing around. You gotta watch for the Timbersaw, who ends up going down anyway. Yoe now in a little bit of a pickle. This buyback actually working out for Aurora. They pull the trigger on the most expensive one in the game, and if they get Palos, that will be more than worth it. The desperate net's coming through. There's a lift. That's the only instant disable they have, and they'll put it to work. Finish off Palos as well. And as the dust settles, I think Aurora, they must have come out on top of that, but boy did it cost them. Impact zone that I mentioned, like in between the chakrams, right into the Slada and taking that force damage. Found Q out, but without an Aegis in Palos' pocket, they might not feel quite as confident to commit.
Satanic BKB and the Mantis style. They're gonna try for something.
Yeah. It's still advantageous in terms of the numbers for now. Just give Palos a couple of buddies to hit the tower with. Yoe actually jumping forward for the blink, but jabs. He's straight onto Jotun on the backline. Once again, the main meeple threatened. He has the mega up, but they're standing their ground and delivering. Jabs, he's in trouble, and he's gonna be able to just narrowly dig out of there. 23 against Palos once again, but forced away from out. You're fully committing onto the meeple, and he doesn't stand a chance. Ollie, with that Aghanims, managing to actually keep him alive for now, but he's finally gonna go down as Jabs scurrying his way desperate out here. The Yule setup is there, and they'll just crush the meeple back down to earth. No more digging for you. Palos actually forced to pop the ultimate. 23 morphing into that Timbersaw, but now he's left high and dry. Iced to bits by that Shivas, and Armel doesn't stand a chance as well. 100 seconds without your Morphling, can't help but feel like this is gonna be the end. There's nothing stopping the troll from just laying into your buildings other than low HP. Still just go back to that creep cam, use the Satanic, and Drake still coming forward with the setup. Armel forced to buy back. He feels like he has to do just about everything here, but he can't afford to commit into what might be his potential dieback. That'll be the end of the game. Jotun does go down, and the heroes on the side of Darling are low, but not Palos. Managing to get back up to full HP thanks to that Satanic, and he'll continue the beat down onto this Rex.
If they go for T4s, they might. They might.
Armel, you gotta watch yourself. The Hex out, the control, it's there. Can't really connect with the axes from Palos though. And kind of similar situation for the Timber, right? The EHP is insane, and now that additional bit of control with the Hex. Jabs has one as well, but oh, Yoe. Look at where he's positioned. He'll jump up onto Jabs, but have they sort of caught an off angle here? It's two heroes on the side of Darling in the midst of everyone on Aurora, but who's sandwiching who? Yoe will just turn around, start controlling Armel up. Jabs scattered. It's 23 trying to enter the fight. Look at the target focus. It's on to Drake, but he's forced to BKB. 23, he's dropping so low. You want to get out of here, but you still need to do the damage. He's going to full commit, but Yoe turns his sights towards 23, and you've already lost Drake on the backside. Decent start to the fight, but Ollie down as well. Both safe supports for both sides. Going down is 23. Desperately has to waveform away the entire side of Darling. Just looking at him as Jabs able to clean up, but you're losing your Morphling again.
Roshan is up. If Darling wanted to turn tail and go back for the Roshan, but they're pretty free once again to just kind of hit these racks with Morphling dead.
Yeah, Jabs gonna try and commit in, force the buyback from Ollie, but the meeple already going down. 95 seconds without Jabs, and suddenly this might actually be it this time. Q, he's gonna try his best. Delay them with the Chakram as well as the lifts, but one crush from Yoe. He could just be falling flat. The only member missing is Drake, and they don't even need him to just melt that Rubik down straight onto the tier 4s. Yeah, I think they've done it. They're forcing the buyback. It's a 3v4 at best, and Drake, he's gonna join them, make it a full force situation. What can you do on Aurora? I just don't really have an answer. They looks
Nothing
like
right now. You can't.
Darling, have they just done it in this game number 1 here? Ollie trying to buy as much time as possible, but as we know with the Abaddon, it's nothing but borrowed. It's a nice hex to control, but Armel, not much else he can do. He flies away to the opposite side of the map, doesn't even want to witness his own ancient falling. It's too painful to bear as Palos, Cuckoo, and the gang, they'll take away game number 1 in what was the closest game we've seen in a very, very long while for Aurora. Whoever the Abaddon tries to purge, right? And Ollie, he's gonna have to be on point with his timings to try and shrug off most of those. Oh, they go back for the Armel sniper. This is a favorite of his. Brings it out at every chance that he can get. Jotun, once again, getting aggressive. Nice setup from the dual lane, and Jotun looking to go down with that Acorn shot bouncing around. It's more than enough damage. With Drake just grabbing that Blink Dagger, you can fully expect both Yoe and him to start making a move. Even without it though, they want to settle onto Bosku, finally trying to address this Timbersaw. Where's the Bushwhack? Not in time. Q waits it out a bit too long and ends up missing that opportunity. A little bit of a slip up. Meanwhile, mid lane, with the help of Ollie, 23 will stay alive to that aggressive move. They actually committed both the finger as well as the coil here. But 23, more than enough stats. They're straight in onto the meeple though. Palos in some trouble. Armel doing quite a significant amount of damage, but Jabs just smacks them down with a rebuke. Q able to answer right back, but with the Lotus and the Shivas, I don't think there's enough damage in the tank to deal with them. Ollie, use that borrowed time in the mid lane to help out 23. Look at Yoei, he's just being so annoying, dancing around them, playing with the blinks. He knows there's no direct control. Eclipse forced out from 23 on the front lines as Bosco and Drake just fully retreat. Yoei's been able to snipe out Ollie, sniping people off on the backline, and there's nothing much that Armel and the gang can do about it. They start Dream calling up onto him as well. Immediately, Ollie's there to try for the save, but they don't really coordinate the break in time. They've just killed off Drake though. Taking out that Lion, there aren't going to be any additional disables as the entire side of Aurora comes through. Nice arena from Jabs just to catch him, and the sharpshooter break as well.
Now Sneeze, without looking, I'm gonna play a little game with you.
Let's hear it.
Mars has a mithril hammer, so without looking... Okay, hold that thought, actually.
Yeah, Hoodwing just gonna get Finger of Death down, but they get the response back onto Drake. 23 has the backup of Ollie in the area, but Jabs finds another, killing off Jotun yet again. Like you keep mentioning, these positions for the Bat Rider where he's dying, they're not the worst, but you're 0 and 6 right now, and you've yet to even make your way towards the Solar Crest.
And now it's all about 23, right? The whole game revolves around 23 right now.
Oh, really? The hard carry? That's it. Someone told me before that's boring.
It's boring. It is boring. It is boring, Dota. What can you say? I agree with you.
I wouldn't say so. I think this game has been pretty clean so far. The fact that how Aurora have been bringing numbers to protect their carries, I wish some of my pub teammates would learn from this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And this is the discipline that has really set Aurora apart. You talked about it already. Always being very, very aware of their timings. Got a bit derailed in that game number 1 and might be derailed here if Drake is able to blink in the middle of them and get the mana drain, but no! Jabs just completely obliterates him. You call on the backline, but you can't find a thing. Palos, he's trying to commit, but 23 still has that second life, just baiting away. There's Jabs again. Another arena finding Yoei, eating the Hex to the face though, and another little stun. Drake, he's brought back into this fight, and they've taken down Jabs. The godlike streak over. Jotun coming in a little bit too late with that lasso as Ollie. Another beautiful aphotic shield puts a stop to it. Drake, he's just lining these up over and over. It'll connect onto a kill, not only on the Luna's first life, but the Abaddon as well. Without their supporting cast, can they still stand? The sniper has gone down, and it looks like Darling, they're able to defend. The shot from the Luna, they need to watch that damage though. It's cutting through the last people on the Palos. You just need to finish him off. One Lucent Beam is all it takes. Q trying to find that Acorn, but gets smacked down by Yoei. Now they can just dance around 23 and kite him to absolute death. Lucent Beam doesn't work when he's magic immune. The nets, they're just playing around with this sad Luna. No more allies to work with. The blink up to the high ground, Yoei. Oh no, he's gonna get sliced apart. Palos. Oh, no, Palos too. Okay, no way. No way. No, so close. So close. God. I mean, even if Palos died there, surely Jotun finishes the job, but a huge mess of a fight. And yeah, it's another game where Ollie's like working overtime just to try and keep his Aurora cause alive. You're putting him in such a rough spot, but he's more than delivered. Armel again in this mid lane. You can't afford for the sniper to go down, but so much burst. And Jabs, he'll come through, blink away. They can get the chase. Beautiful net, forcing the arena out. They actually buy back onto Armel. They know they need to take this fight, but Ollie doesn't have the borrowed time. He used that for the Tormentor, and now Q, he's in a little bit of trouble. Has to use the sharpshooter to try and run through the tree line. Ollie will give him a stray parting miscoil there as Drake standing his ground. 23, he needs to deliver big time in this fight. Armel still being able to escape, turns around, get the snipe down onto the park, and it looks like Darling, they've overcommitted for this move. The buyback from Armel pays off big time. They're able to kill Bosco as well. Still see him, that Shivas, the Acorn, maintaining the vision, the assassinate. TP not in time. Armel with a triple. Again, it feels like it cost Aurora, but this time round, Darling, they make a crucial misstep.
Connects Armel is not here.
Dude, Armel is playing so far back, and you kind of have to. Drake coming forward, the instant stun! They evaporate him and he doesn't stand a chance. 23 is just gonna stand his ground as Palos tries the lanes on the Luna, but this is where you're the most dangerous. How dare you step into my territory? The walls of the arena sentence you to your death. As Aurora obliterate their opponents here, he'll make a meeple out of Palos. He has to disperse and run. Where's the chase down? Jabs is right there to meet him and won't let Palos go unscathed. Bosco desperately trying to do whatever he can, but this game, this fight, Armel and 23 are untouched. And they obliterate their opponents there. Yoei desperately trying to jot away, but you know Jabs is hungry. He'll be looking for a spear. Juked out. Looking monstrous, and they'll just head straight into this Roche. Seeing the rest of the Palos Meepo clones commit for the top tier 2. In comes Yoei though. giving his team some vision, but just some nice AWP plays coming around again. Here comes Bosku. Uh-oh, things are gonna start to get hairy. 23, holding, standing his ground, and he needs to grab the Aegis, force to pop the BKB, and he'll be able to snatch it. The mask straight onto Drake again, and Amel evaporates him. Palos, he's turned into this Mega Meepo, but there's nowhere to go. Held up by the Gleipnir from Q, and you're trying to burrow, trying to dig out of here. Bosku comes in to just distract them. Hello, look at me, I'm a streamer. They don't care. They'll just shoot you down. Lucent Beam melts that Timber Sword down to size. And the last touches Amel with a double jabs, lines them all up. That arena wasn't anything flashy, but it does the job. Drake, the one factor that's been helping them so far in this game number 2, consistently answered, addressed, and put down. And the rest of the squad, they just can't find an opening in these fights. The early Atos just really tripping the side of Darling up as well. Now they are in a troublesome position. They might not all be Drake, but it's a pickle for sure. Forced to use up. Setup is still there. Sharpshooter holding it in place with the loser. Is Kuku just gonna die?
Yeah.
23, it's a nice little meta to try and dodge that Earth Spike. But right now, Q's the one in trouble. They finish off Abaddon and the supporting cast of Aurora goes down. Buyback onto Kuku. Do you still want to take this fight? Amel forced to pop the BKB, still dismantled by the physical. 23 is standing his ground, gonna lose that first life as Palos and Kuku off of that Timbersaw buyback. They might be in trouble now, but that's the Eclipse. The big bad Luna will just TP out of here and escape. Jabs has the TP, but actually uses his mana on the spear. That might have been a mistake. Gonna try now. The lingering duration will get him out of there. We can't really blame him because that's the first time that item was revealed. Jabs was holding on to the gold for a hot minute. Straight onto your high ground. This is where the Luna is the most dangerous.
And the racks, they're just gonna melt.
Yeah, they don't stand
And Luna
chance.
just doing Luna things.
Once again, Bosku can do nothing but present himself as a juicy target, but there's something juicy on 23. He's not going to get distracted. Now, Jabs does have a habit of committing for kills where he doesn't really have to. Hopefully that's not the case as Palos jumps the backline again. It's found on Mel, forcing the BKB out, but that's what Ollie's there for. Keeping his sniper safe again, and it's a beautiful hoodwink bushwhack that just grabs all the meeples to that tree. Bayonet them all to death. One little assassinate as well. Yowie trying his best with a beautiful coil. Jotun looking for an opening, but he runs straight into 23. That's not the target that he wants. Forced to just blink away, but Jabs has found him, and Jabs has him killed.
Okay, hold on a minute. Maybe not.
Okay.
No, like something like maybe a techies.
Dude,
Right?
Aurora.
Something that can protect your heroes.
They want to end the game right now. They've even bought back on Ollie. Bosku coming in, trying to catch them off guard with the Blade Mail, and it might just have done the trick. 23, he's dropping low and ends up going down. Not really expecting that, but Aurora, they pull the trigger on the buybacks. This could create a very big opening if Darling unable to respond. It's a 5v2 situation. 30 seconds without Palos. They want to secure the Mega Creeps. And nothing will stop them from doing so. Yowie will try, and it looks like they'll be able to do so. One glyph available for the side of Darling. They'll be forced to pop it. Oh, the instant hex. Yowie, he just gets melted. 95 seconds without your park, and even with the Meepo coming up, I don't know whether you stand a chance. The Curse of Avernus allowing this Luna to just go completely brazy mode, and this Ancient is down 1-1. We're in a best of 3 crash. Yowie, honestly, Yowie and losing lane matchups, that's his bread, but he's fine. Like, he's one of the players that even up against a potential counter, I'm like, you know, he'll find a way to make an impact. The last pick is gonna be that Templar Assassin. And I think for me,
He's taking a lot of damage.
I think for me personally, at some point I believe Kuku will be self-sufficient in lane, right? Once he gets that helm,
Yes.
Perhaps if that's what he's choosing to go for. But I'd love to see a rotation down to the bot side from Drake as Jotun looks to be going down again. This is gonna be the second time Jotun's giving over first blood.
Good that 23 is doing right now.
Yeah. DCF doing well. Mars 30 and 12, but immediately upon hitting level 6, here comes Yowie. Where is Q to back him up? Right there with the stun and the spear, but Jotun from out of where did he come from? Comes around with the Firefly. It's a nice trajectory for the bat, but Yowie runs out of mana. Amel is here to respond. You trade 1 for 1 for now, but it's gonna be a 2 for... So just chase down this bat with the traps. Firefly runs out, and so does his life. Amel, easy pickup for him. And honestly, that was a pretty crazy angle from the side of Darling, but Aurora, these early game responses, they're crisp. Oh, Storm Spirit, meanwhile, setting up an Ollie in the mid lane. Yowie Wants to grab this kill before the rotations come through, and looks like he'll be able to do so. Last touch, but he's out of mana. Can't zip away as Q with the control. He needs some help. Flame Break will buy him some time, but not enough. Mana drained to oblivion there. As 8-minute rune will be denied, but Armel, I don't think he'll be too sad about that unless he dies. The chrono, we were talking about it, it's prepared. Committed, locks up Q as well. With 3 heroes hitting into him, it should be enough, but 23 has shown up to play. Laguna, it's online, but he doesn't have the mana, and he can't continue auto-attacking Palos like that.
This is really cool by Jabs. We've seen this a few times, actually. But it's rare to, No, hold that thought, actually.
Yeah, they're trying to punish Ollie for staying up here. Jotun's come through with Twin Gates again with the wand as well as 23. It's a beautiful arena stampede, but you're going nowhere. We've talked about this. You lose the Abaddon, you finally focus him down, but it's a triple kill for 23. He's just been the one forced to try and make these moves happen. Chrono available, but they might be setting up the Palos, already using that time while Arena available, and the spear, it connects. Where's the rest of the follow-up though? Q trying to close the distance. Beautiful flame break. The stun is still gonna find the Faceless Void, and despite the stampede, it's just enough. They can't slow him down, and they'll settle for the tier 1 instead.
Whoa!
No! From the middle of the tree line, Q finds his mark. Palos, I don't think he expected that range to come out, and honestly, me too. What the heck?
I didn't either.
I was like half a screen away. I mean, this guy, I didn't know the finger was that long.
Yeah, that's some Aether Lens bullshit right there, right? Like, you expect that if he has an Aether.
Yeah, what the heck? They'll try and answer back with a 23 kill. Can they burst him down in time? Looks to be the case. No, Ollie! Again and again, the bombs will explode and proximity mines doing their work. But a semi-ravage landed by Q. They've already taken down Techies and Yowie as well. Bosku trying to TP out up against the overwhelming damage from Armel. Will cut down the Centaur. And Aurora, response is the name of the game, and they are absolute grandmasters at it. Oh, this is tricky, tricky business now. We already saw how difficult it was to navigate the fight. With that stampede, oh, Jotun. He'll break the smoke. That is the best possible outcome. If there's one thing he's good at, this is gonna sound like a flame, but I'm 100% serious. It's dying in the right spot. So he does exactly that. Prevents it from being a pick-off onto Palos or Yowie, preserves his calls, and yeah, they'll get the tower. That's just kind of an afterthought, though.
Yeah, TA Deso's going to be online now too. Aurora, they're ready to go. Right? They are ready to keep on going. Q even has a Blink Dagger himself.
What a Storm Vortex. Who have they set up on? It's onto Q. It's quite a bit of damage. Drake able to find the connection, and now they're onto Armel as well. But he is such a tanky boy, especially if Ollie back him up. The rest of the side of Darling are filtering in, and another beautiful chrono. This is what we needed, but Jabs on the other side of the fight, holding down Palos, and in comes the Laguna. The Faceless doesn't stand a chance, but you traded up for Armel. Anything even goes in your favor, but it might not look so even after all. The spear out again, Jabs finding them over and over again. He's been so on point with this that you even see Palos pinging a high ground where there's no vision. They're just like, how is he finding us? How did they know? Crazy. Every single time, right on point with the TPs, right on point with the saves. The sequencing is in order as well. Drake, easy pick up onto him, even in lieu of a Solar Crest. Looks like the walls of the arena do go up. They found your way and silence him up. This is trouble, even with the flame break, the traps. That's them coming into play. You called it out in the draft, and
no Blink Dagger yet, and really nothing that he's done this game has been too incredible.
Yeah, Bosku is to be found here. Nice LSA to catch him. In spite of that hoof stomp, not a stampede. Looks to be in big, big trouble. Jotun will come through, and 23 even pops the BKB to kill off Bosku. They found your way in the mid lane. It's another setup and another kill. Jabs hasn't had a single issue finding these pickoffs. And would you look at that? Another free Bat Rider. This will be his 8th death of the game. And of course it goes the way of Armel with that huge melt strike.
Aurora, they are a specialist at closing out games against Darling. That's essentially what they're going to be doing here. Roshan's going to be spawning in 35 seconds.
Mid lane, Chrono finding this 23 Savage. Lina all alone. The save can't come in time. Ollie's the last one to TP, and that might spell disaster. They're collapsing onto Armel. Darling, they're finding the opening finally, but Jabs here with Arena. It's into a bunch of BKBs though. A nice God Rebuke as well as the Lion Stun, trying to keep Aurora in this fight, but they're dropping really, really low, and Ollie can't offer up anything else. Armel looking to go down one last little shield. Bosku trying to close the distance, needs one last auto attack, but can't find him. Under the invisibility, Armel will blink away, and somehow, someway, thanks to Ollie yet again, Armel lives. And Bosku, he has to turn tail and run right now. Speared away, it's not gonna connect. A rare miss from Jabs, but Q, he's on the case. Looking for an angle. Drake, he'll come in, interrupted by the rebuke. Perfectly played from this Mars to turn that fight around. And the tips come through, maybe just laughing at each other a little bit as Armel stands through it all. In these kind of situations, I want a tab on the fight recap showing just how much healing and dispels.
They're not scared. They're not acting just willy-nilly. They know exactly what they're doing, exactly where to TP, where to position, when to TP. Maybe not in the right order, but they still get the job done, right? They still win the fight at the end of it all.
Time for your every 1.5 minute Jotun death.
Yep.
23 makes it happen. He's on track. I mean, oh no, Arena in the mid lane. Any follow-up stun, not in time for Yowei to pop the BKB, and now he's onto Q. Palos straight onto this poor Lion as well, and he's gonna go down, but the fight, it's already broken out. Another beautiful chrono, but Ollie, he's outside of it, able to help out with the shields and the miscalls, but it's not gonna be enough to keep Jabs alive. Oh, Jotun coming through the buyback. They've gotten Armel, and he's dead. The last one standing is 23 with that BKB, but Darling, they found the opening that they need. A bit of overzealousness from Jabs, jumping up to the high ground to set up at the Yowei, but the BKB from the Storm pays dividends here as they'll kill 23 the once. Looking at the second life without a BKB, this should be easy pickings. It really just remains to be seen whether he's able to kill Drake as well, but no such luck as Ollie will just get worked down. It'll take some time. We'll have to return that one. But you know Palos is feeling good when the voice lines start coming out, and 5-man team wipe for Darling. This is what they've been waiting for. Be careful, Jotun. No blink, but still could just lasso a free target. They spot up Jabs. Starting to converge. The traps will give them the info that they might be seen right now. Straight on, Chrono in the bot side. Palos, he's found the TA. And looking at 23, the Lina, she can't do well when you're all over her. Jabs desperately trying to come in. That's what the Stampede is for, closing the distance. And 23 doesn't stand a chance despite Ollie's best efforts. Darling, they're finding these openings on the back of these beautiful just grabs from Palos and gang. And just like that, they wipe for again. Jabs, he's held them back with the wall, but they are not gonna stop this chase. He's gonna be able to blink away. A crazy split-second decision from Jabs to even salvage that, but again and again, I feel like Darling, they're finding these crazy openings, and it's really refreshing to see because they're not just gonna keel over, they're gonna put up a fight. Now on their high ground, a lot of stuns coming out. Jabs with the setup. Oh, Palos, he's dropping a little low, needs to watch himself stunned up. They're pulling everything out of the bag to try and keep him alive on his first life. Jabs forced to commit the BKB, but it's run out. The Mars is dead, has a buyback, but without your Arena, what can you do? Borrow time popped by Yowei in as well. Dancing and jiving here on Darling. They're doing a great job baiting out the cooldowns and the key items from the side of Aurora. Now threatening onto the high ground. Quick fingers on the BKB from 23 and the buyback from the Mars. Looks like Cuckoo, he's got a bit too deep. Still has the BKB though, and he should be able to walk this one off. Jabs again in a lot of trouble. It might just be a dieback for this poor little Mars, and that's what will happen. Palos finds the chrono on Armel and smacks him down to size. They've just brought it to a game number 3. Feels like no buyback on your TA and Mars, and 23 will drop to the deck. The last person standing is Ollie. How fitting is Palos cleans it up with a rampage. GGG's is called. That's the little bit of money that'll be going to his bank after that insane performance. Deserves a bonus after that one for sure. What a game from Darling. Not because we're disrespecting Darling, but just like really just to make them sting.
Yeah, literal poison sting even.
Yeah.
There's that Razor.
Razor not going to be too worried about the Vengeful Spirit regardless of what position it's in.
Crazy like 3 or 4 ganks in a row and you're getting doubles.
Yeah.
Right, it's just going to be extremely hard if you fall behind on Avenge.
Yeah. Oh, Jotun getting run down. Jabs linking them up. Well, they're still trying to get the touches out onto Palos, but able to get the return kill. Overall, pretty good for this Troll Warlord. Up against the supposed game counter. Uh-oh. Cuckoo in the bot side. You can't fight up against this Luna with her aura, and they'll just punch down Drake. The parting stun. The Rubik will at least get that EXP and gold. Okay, 23 is just going to give himself up.
Nice.
Okay, I can respect that.
You recognize, hey, they can kill me now. Time to back up. I've done my job.
Losku, aggression onto him yet again. Nice stun from the tree line. Catches out this Venge. Turn around with a magic missile of his own though, and Jotun's coming through with a beautiful 2-man little Gale there. They've traded off for Ollie for now. Armel's here to play as well. Rolling Thunder available as Yowei running a little bit out of resources. Would love to clean up Q. But a beautiful deny from Jabs denies him of that opportunity. Yowei forced to turn tail and run and head back to base for a reset. by nature a bit more of a supportive player. Oh, the swap back. They found 23, but where is the follow-up? Oh, stolen Lucent Beam. That is troublesome. Drake, he's going to be able to put out a lot of damage, but not before Cuckoo takes a tumble. The roll-up, the continued setup onto Yowie, but without any additional control, they'll choose to back up and settle for Jotun instead. It's a nice shot to lock them in place. Q, he's doing so well on this task this game. Oh, he's still going forward, looking for the punch onto Drake. Cuts through the tree line and lands that connection. They want to eliminate the possibility of this extended Lucent Beam being on Drake. It's a lot of damage back the other way thanks to that slide. They finally finish off the Rubik, but it's going to come at the cost of both the Tusk and the Pango. They reach a bit too far in, and they pay the price. It's very realistic that he, similar to Cuckoo in that Viper game, just, not that he'll become universal, but just become this huge target that's able to output a significant amount of damage. Amel, he's found Cuckoo again. No Ember Spirit nearby to swap this time, he'll just have to die.
Shame, but they might be getting jabs mid.
No, the BKB right in time. Ollie there, the Hex, and oh, the finger. They found your way again, and they'll make the work onto Drake as well. Amel, he'd love to find another, and he knows how slow Jotun is, but he doesn't care. He'll just settle for the tower. You can still fish them right in. Like you mentioned, Luna doesn't like to be collapsed upon. Rolling Thunder coming into this tree line might just force the BKB pot from Palos. That's a swap. Bosku getting his troll out of there, and at the very least, they'll clean up Jotun. That's a good start. Meanwhile, the troll forced to run away from Jabs, who just has him static linked up. They trade out Ollie on the backlines. Yowie able to get that kill and get back out to safety, hopefully. He's still running away. Remnant available. And he should be zipping out in an instant. What is this? Punched up. A lot of mana to work with. Actually, doesn't go to his initial Remnant. Sticks around and will pay the price for it. Not really the move that he wanted. I mean, maybe they're thinking no Rolling Thunder, no Eclipse. Might be possible, but it seems like Aurora are privy to this. They go up to the high ground, pop the Lunar Glaives, and just rip their opposition to shreds. Boring Uncle P comes over here like, can we get out of here already? His food isn't even good. Trying their best to slow this down, but I mean, these Lunar Illusions are just gonna do the job.
What do you do?
Yeah, Jazz just will commit for it. He doesn't care. Yowie will get out, but he's left his team high and dry a little bit here. Palos, he's gonna start getting static linked up. You might have the BKB, but where can you go? Try and TP out. The kick just disrupts that, but that's gonna allow him to create the distance. Ollie has already worked down Drake. He's taking quite a bit of damage from Yowie. Sliced him down, but again and again, all you find is the Lion. And Yowie desperately has to TP out. They aren't able to find him. Meanwhile, oh, what is this? Q! TP's in, he knows Palos in the area and doesn't have a TP. The chase is on, and look who's TPing in. 23
on the cliff!
Onto the high ground, are you kidding me? Q, the setups, this guy is mad! Just, you know, snowball save, or maybe just get Jabs to run in and whip them to shape. Oh, just the easy control! He's gone, 75 seconds. Palos literally just kicked out of his own home. That's crazy. It looks like we're going, I want to say we're going to a game 5, but you never know with this lineup. Darling, they'll just get Drake kicked right back in, and he doesn't stand a chance. No buyback for that Rubik. Jotun will be coming out in 1 second. 20 more seconds for Palos. Dude, Jabs. Chill out. Forced to pop the BKB now. In a little bit of trouble. Even has a Satanic, but they've baited in Yowie, and that is what they were waiting for. Oh, 23 just pops that BKB. Oh, the Glaives almost finished Bosco. You gotta watch yourself.
They're going to.
He just dies. The interesting voice line. Well, again and again, just being so good with the space disruption. Oh, Q will just come out, punch Rick away, but they don't care about that poor Rubik. They're on the front lines. Jabs might have to start thinking about backing up, but oh, a beautiful stun. Ollie sets it up, knocks them both out, and godlike for 23 as he just stands with his Glaives all around him. They don't stand a chance. And looks like Crash will be going to a game 5 after being cursed with 2 zeros for this entire qualifiers. Yowie trying desperately to cut the creep wave. You might be able to cut down the Lion, but again and again, that is all that you get. And Ollie, he'll be laughing his way to the bank of that one. The disconnect from Yowie. Toxic in the all chat. I mean, I'm sure he's just playing around. I'm not. Oh, okay. Real disconnect this time. They call GG.
Yeah, it's just the auto disconnect. Yeah, they call GG.
Yeah. Suited themselves up for a really, really good start to the game.
And they have found success in their drafts, but Aurora, they're going to go back for the Meepo.
Okay. Just like clockwork, actually. I mean, yeah, the Drick is just...
Not the hero, though.
No, not the hero. The Drick. Guy who's doing this almost like a routine. Palos pump faking that LSA will be able to tag out onto Q. With the Crypt Swarm, nice Fairy Fire. They get the kill first. Goes over to Jabs, trading out as he's just going to be able to start to walk down Palos. Here, there's a very popular guidebook. On page number 1, it says you need to try and force the opponent carry out of lane with Crypt Swarm. And speaking of being forced out of lane, Bosku is just dead. There's way too much damage and the slowdown from both the tag team and the Orb of Corrosion. But here comes the full squad of Darling. They want to punish, jumping forward onto the real hero. Drake is going to be looking for a stun, but already in the true form. Ollie here again with the Sunray. Beautiful Savage Roar to hold them back. And uh-oh, the roots. This is not what Yowie wanted on this Broodmother. Dive forward as well. And the last little bit of a snowball, you can't even web up to the high ground. And Amel a bit late to the party, but he wants to play. All he needs is a net. Toss it back. Slightly gonna go wide, a little bit awkward now as, what, 4 heroes start filtering here? But it's a perfect shot. The rest of Darling, they don't want to let this go lightly though. A beautiful LSA holding Amel in place. He needs to poof out and he'll be just fine. The Spirit Breath might be the next target.
Yeah, he hasn't seen a creep in a hot minute.
Set up in the mid lane. Amel in some trouble again. Nice toss back and a much needed kill. They might just continue onto Jabs as well, but not wanting to overcommit. I think 4 games is enough for them to realize Aurora will TP in these heroes. They don't care. Even preserve their ages on the Lina, but this Tormentor timing, this smoke, it's perfect. Amel, he's found them straight onto that poor bench, and Panos loses his first life. Bosku desperately trying to finish off the Tormentor, but he doesn't have the damage. He's gonna lose it as well as his carry. Ollie gets the shot, and that is going to amplify the Sunray damage by such a country mile. They clean up Palos, and Bosku, his priorities were clear, but they end up losing their carry. That's the worst possible outcome there. And we've seen Aurora sort of toss away their advantage in this area before. Straight onto Palos, they see him. Shivas with the slow. Where's the rest of the squad? They can't get here in time. The Marcy's gonna come through just to watch her Lina drop to the floor, and oh, unfortunate, the shots. Not gonna connect, but you got the big target. The Lina is down again. Even just kind of play a little bit with Amel, and that's gonna prove to be a mistake. Yowie stranded himself here.
They go down fast.
Oh, Jabs being so annoying there. The pump fake, those little arms came out, baiting out that glyph, and immediately the swap back. You might just get the touch on the lone druid. He's falling low, and Palos, he's able to finish off 23 Savage, but it comes at the cost of both your bench and Marcy. Buyback is available, and it almost feels like Aurora, they want to commit because this Exo's been popped. Q coming through with the roll immediately. The buyback's on the spot, but can they make it here in time? Burning away because of that Sunray. The shard, it's gonna do so much work as Q narrowly dies there. The Marcy able to finish him off. It's a dieback. Bosku in some trouble as well as Mega Meepo standing his ground and standing tall at that. You use up Yowie, but there isn't any follow-up. This is falling apart here for Darling.
Plink them down on the Lina, but that's about it.
And that's not really a very convincing situation. You'll silence up Amel now, but it's just you. Jabs will just turn around and kill your Venge, and Drake is died back. One more little soccer kick to the curb. You know that task. He's eyeing them up like juicy prizes at an arcade stall. He's
You
this
can't
close.
show on Lina.
You can't. He's just gonna come in, do it again. Q, he's found Palos, and Palos goes down. 60 seconds without him and no buyback, but they will do a lot of damage. Immediate buyback on the Tusto, but Bosku and Yowie, they have no chance. The connection might be there, but it's not enough to defeat Aurora. They'll just stand their ground. Everyone's full HP. You just buy back on Q, and Yowie, he's just gonna get swatted down like the bug that he is. And 23, some tips coming out to his former captain. Congrats. They're just smiling. I mean, they've come really close, and we always keep talking about how at some point it might not have been a joke anymore. It might not have just been a meme. They could have really made a good shot at Dream League Season 22. But as the dust settles, Aurora, they make them work for their salaries for sure.
Yeah.